Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today, we are on some small water out here on Kings Mountain State Park. Lake York is where we're at. This is not the first time I've been here. I'll leave a little link up top to show you my last endeavor out here, which I did pretty well. But that was about 3 years ago. So figured I'd give this place another shot. The conditions that we have, it's winter time. And we had just torrential rain for like the last 3 days. And then on top of that, the wind. Today is incredibly windy, which is why I decided, when I say windy, it's like high wind advisory gusting to like the 40-mile-an-hour range. So rather than risk it on some bigger water, I'm out here on this little pond. And you can see it's got mostly like trees and it's surrounded, and it's pretty well secluded, and get a little break from the wind a little bit. It's still pretty difficult, but I'm gonna try to put some wintertime fish in the boat, and that's enough of me talk. Let's get to it. Not the biggest guy in the world, but we're on the board. That's nice. Look at him. Look at that little fella. Well, the day has been pretty slow so far, but we're on the board, which is nice. Let's get him back in the water. He's pretty long, small but long. Look at him, just a little fella. Look at that little guy. Well, that's 2 on the day. Between the 2 of them, that's almost 1 like decent fish, but we'll take what we can get at this point. Let's get them back in the water. And now it's time for tackle roundup. All right, guys, it's conditions are pretty tough. The water is incredibly muddy. It's pretty cold, and the wind is just absolutely outrageous. Even in like this little shaded pond, the wind is still really bad. Basically, I can only fish the 1/2 of the pond because the other side, the wind's just way too high and you can't really do any kind of fishing. I've been using some moving baits without any success. The only thing that I've been catching any fish on has been this. This has kind of been like my wintertime go-to. It is just a 1/4 ounce Weedless Ned, and then as the actual Ned, that's just a 5-inch Big Bite Baits trick stick that I have cut in half. The reason that I'm using the heavier weight and the coloration is because, number one, the wind is so high, I need that heavier weight to kind of allow me to fish it a little bit. And then the solid black, because quite frankly, it is very, very muddy, and that is the only color that is throwing up any kind of profile at all. After I caught a couple of the little fish with this, I upgraded. I was using like a black and blue jig, trying to get that thing on the bottom, you know, without any success. So I think I'm just gonna go back and fish this little guy. Maybe I can find a bigger fish mixed in with the dinks. That's kind of what I'm going for. So that's what we got. And that concludes today's tackle roundup. Well, same thing, we're still getting bites, but they're all really little. Well, that little teeny guy. Well, we're finally starting to get some bites, but size seems to be an issue at the moment. Let's let this little guy get back in the water and grow up to be a bigger fish one day.
Well, I ain't got no money. Well, he ain't got no money. And a slap run out of beans. And a slap run out of beans. And the kids are getting hungry. And the kids are getting hungry. I can tell you what that means. I can tell you what that means. River rats. River rats. And cool stew. And cool stew. Baby, that's.
All right, guys. All right, just again, just a little guy here. Look at him. Well, the wind's like pretty bad today, so I'm having to like make do with what I got. This is one I got off a little rattle trap there, just silver color, but the wind is just crazy, so I'm making do with what I can. Let's get him back in the water. Whew. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Was able to put a couple fish in the boat. They're none of any kind of size, which is kind of unusual because usually winter you don't get very many bites, but then you'll get some bigger fish. This, I mean, I was catching, I mean, I caught 4, which isn't terrible, but they were all dinks. But what can you do? Anyways, I really like this little park. It's nice. If you'd like to know anything about it, you can look down in the description box. I'm going to leave some additional information down there. But while you're there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. This channel's updated every week with new fishing content and new fishing adventures. So, I'll be seeing you next week. This is Josh, and this is Abide Fishing.
Baby, that's fish.